What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I'm wrapping up the 2020 Europa Pro Championships held in Alicante, Spain. James Hollingshead wins his first IFB Pro show. Honours Luke Sando, his good friend and training partner, who sadly passed away just earlier this year. And he said before the show, if he does get this win, he said that's Luke's first pro win because he's doing it, and he's got basically that push behind him of Luke's memory pushing him to this win. So I think that's an awesome story. You can tell he was probably holding back some emotions on stage after he won, and congratulations to James, because I picked him in 5th place for this show, which was against most people, and I was proven wrong. I was definitely proven wrong, but it was very, very close. It was a very close top 5, and actually got the top 5 right because I had James Hollingshead in 5th. I nailed it with Regan Grimes in 4th. That's where he landed. Samson Dowder in 3rd. He actually finished in 5th. Rafael Brandao in 2nd, he finished in 3rd, and Lukas Osladil I had in 1st, he finished in 2nd. So I wasn't too far off. And then the guys behind that, I think I could have even potentially placed them all in the right places, but we only have the top 5 placings for the minute right now. Also, my next bodybuilding news video, I'm actually going to put a bit more of a review on the placings and stuff like that in it. So make sure you do subscribe, hit the notification bell button so you are notified of that as well. But let's get into this one. I'm going to go through a bunch of the competitors and I'll work my way down to 1st place. So I'm going to start with some guys that finished outside the top 5, but I think I might have even got right. So this is how I had it playing out. So I had Jamie Johal the Giant, I had him in 9th, I had Milan Sadek in 8th, in 7th I had Andrea Muzi, and then in 6th I had Mark Hector. Now this may have played out exactly like that, because that's sort of how it looked in the call-outs, or it looked very similar to that. So I'll start with Jamie. Now Jamie is huge, 6'5", about 300 pounds, and realistically for Jamie to be doing well, he probably needs to be at least 310. And it sounds harsh because he is a massive human and is so hard at that height to have that amount of muscle. And in some shots, he looks huge, like his front lat spread. He looks huge. And when he really sits on his legs from the side and does like a side chest, he looks massive there again as well. But just some shots, he just looks a little bit incomplete and still needs to add more muscle. And that's the disadvantage of being 6'5" and being a bodybuilder. But great debut, or however you say it, from Jamie the Giant. We don't know the placings, but Milan Sadek came in shredded. Very, very shredded, and was very impressed. But from the back, the one thing I noticed is his delts did look a little bit funky. I did take the screenshot off his Instagram, but overall, I'm very, very impressed with him. It's just maybe those delts held him back a little bit, because I was looking at his condition going, this dude should be a little bit higher. He should be contending with this top sort of 7 or so guys, but I don't think he was in the end, maybe because of those delts, I'm not too sure. But overall, a very good package from Milan Sadek in this show. Andrea Muzi, now this dude improved a huge amount. It was just the fact that he was in a lineup with about 7 guys that were all really, really close that sort of hurt him. And from the back, I'd say he's a little bit softer, has a few folds in the lower back, but overall, very good showing from Andrea Muzi. Mark Hector, he's the guy who really sort of surprised a lot of people. Didn't surprise me so much, but maybe surprised me, I suppose, at his proportions, because when he went into that front relaxed pose and for front double bicep, his waist is tiny. I didn't actually know it was that small before this show. And when he hits his shots like the most muscular, he just looks so impressive, especially by himself, but he just needs to add a little bit more size to stand next to some of these other guys. And, he's got the shape. If you can equal them on mass or outmass them, he's going to be super dangerous. And maybe he could have even placed higher at this show, but then you look at the guys above him, they're all really good as well. So it's hard to sort of make a case, but Mark Hector would have been probably in 6th or 7th here. And in 5th place, we had Samson Dowder, who I actually picked up in that top 3. He's going to be disappointed finishing outside that top 3, not getting his Olympia qualification. I know that's what he really wanted this year. So he finished 1 spot from missing it in Korea. Finished 2 spots away from it here, and they're the 2 shows that he's going to, I assume, do this year. I don't think he'll do Romania, but you absolutely never know. But Romania is not a qualifier, and I don't think he's going to do Chicago, but like I said, you never know. I haven't talked to him about that at all. I think for Samson, the thing was, he was at his all-time best here. The only problem is he faded from the moment he sort of got on stage at prejudging. Came out really good, really dominant, probably just faded a little bit. Then at finals, I think he came back pretty well. But I don't know if it was enough to make up the ground, but it was enough to place 5th in this very, very good lineup. And he only placed behind really good bodybuilders. So in 4th, we had Regan Grimes, who, a consistent package, but very similar to last year. Maybe a little bit more size, just a little bit more thickness in the chest, which is something that he needs. But overall, a very good package. And man, I just love Regan's physique. Seems like a really good dude as well, so he's a hard guy to sort of root against, and Regan places fourth here. In third, we had Rafael Brandao. Now, I thought it was going to be between Rafael and James Hollingshead by the call-outs. Even the call-outs at finals, I thought it was going to be between those two. So how it went is basically like, the guys in the middle, they're the guys that are typically the front runners. So it was Rafael and James in the middle at prejudging. And then you had on the outside, you had Lukas Osladil and Regan Grimes, and they didn't get moved into the middle at all in prejudging. That changed. Rafael places third place here. He would have to be disappointed because he was probably thinking, maybe I can win this. It's between me and James, and then he places third place. But I thought Rafael at finals was really, really good. And I actually thought I probably would have had him at certain points of finals because James Hollingshead's physique seemed like it was changing by the second just about. He was really good, and then he was sort of looked maybe a little bit faded or something. I don't know what it was. But Rafael continued to get better and better. I thought he was sensational at finals, but it appears that he slipped and placed third here. Now, Lukas Osladil, he's my pick for the win because he placed 8th in last year's Olympia. So logic says he should come into this show and pretty much win it easily. That wasn't the case. He was not at his best here. Honestly, like I could have had him even lower in this show. I probably would have had him behind Rafael, to be honest. Could have even had him behind Regan and Samson. That it was so close, it's hard to sort of tell. He did have more size than some of these guys in terms of just muscle for his height, but Lukas Osladil was not in his usual razor-sharp conditioning, and I just don't think he has the flow and the shape to beat Rafael in this lineup, but he's a very, very good bodybuilder, and he sort of earned that respect so far. So Lukas Osladil finishes in second, and by the call-outs, because they were swapping James and Rafael in the middle there at the finals, but I thought they were just swapping him for different lighting or whatever, and I thought maybe I was comparing Rafael maybe for the win, but it wasn't the case. And James Hollingshead comes in and wins this one. And I'll go on about James' physique a little bit here because it did change a lot. So prejudging when he first came out, I was like a little bit underwhelmed. I was like, oh, okay. But he worked his way into it. He got better and better as he sort of went on. So I was like, okay, James is good. Okay, by the end of prejudging, I had him winning. Go to the finals. Now, through certain points of the finals, I was like, Rafael just looks chiseled. His lines look a lot deeper. He's a lot more separated between the different muscle groups. And that's fine. I mean, it's fine not to be as separated as some of these other guys. But I just had Rafael probably winning at finals, I'd say, edging James. But I probably would have had James edging Rafael at prejudging, which on a judge's scorecard would mean it's a dead heat. So I'm not taking nothing away from James. A deserved win. And yeah, I obviously wasn't there as well. So I was only watching the stream, saw some photos and things like that. So you really can't tell exactly what's going on because the quality is exactly what you guys are seeing on the screen right now because I just recorded it off my screen. So let me know what you guys think of the results in the comments below. Who did you have winning? Did you have James? Did you see it another way? What did you think of Mark Hector and all that sort of stuff? And let's move on to the 212s. And it was really between two guys in the 212s, and it was between Ole, and I don't know how to say this dude's name. It's Kryvyi. But he looked really good. I thought this was going to be a total walkthrough for Angel Calderon, but this guy really put up a challenge. He has a lot of muscle, looks really good across the delts, and just pretty much everywhere, really. I was very, very impressed. Brought great conditioning. But Angel takes this one out, looked absolutely sensational. As always, very, very thickly muscled, wins in his home country, and I thought it was a well-deserved win in the 212s, but it wasn't without a battle as well. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments, like I mentioned before. If you guys like and appreciate this content, please consider giving me a thumbs up and smash that like button. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. We have bodybuilding interviews, contest coverage like this, bodybuilding news, plus much more. And if you really want to get behind me and support me, head to hostile.com. So HOSSTILE.com. Enter XAV10. It's XAV10. You'll save yourself 10% off what I think is the most amazing supplements in the world. Check the ingredient profiles, they're insane, and check out Hostile's Hostility, their new flavor there. They've got great bubble gum, which is next level, so get on that. So that's it for another video. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are